Hello Redditors of the internet, Noble Xenon here and welcome back to another Reddit video, and today we will be looking at r/JustNeckbeardThings part 16. Let's get started. This first one was posted in every single wall of the theater. Lost. If you found my dear Fedora hat, please take her to the box office Lost and Found. I will be very grateful, and I shall tip my fedora to thee, m'lady. This next one is a very neckbeardy opinion. Harems are the path to replenishing the white populace. When the best males take multiple wives and the lesser males have no prospects for reproduction, they'll venture off to conquer savages, kill their males and form harems of their women. This next one is a Facebook group find titled, "This is why I don't share my thoughts. When people ask what's on my mind, I'll just say nothing." The predetermined condition is the main variable in space-time that precedes any action. It is the pre-influence of any act in conscience or otherwise. The presence of the predetermined condition is always half the equation, the other half is your will. You can never escape the influence of the predetermined condition when you are blindly reacting to its presence. Only when you are awakened to its influence can you hope to avoid its programming. Then by setting in motion your own free will equation, the original predetermined can finally be altered, but only if your will is dominant over the pattern equation. This guy seriously thinks he's on some sort of higher plane of understanding or something. This dude belongs on r/I am very smart. This next one, I'm just completely speechless. You could just see the pictures right there. It is a bunch of underwear in the wall, and it looks absolutely disgusting. Like, what the hell? You can only imagine the smell in there. This next one's titled, "This has to be satire. It has to be a joke." I mean, his username is the ultimate incel, so let's hope it's actually a joke. "I wish I lived in Japan. At least all the women there are high class, appreciates anime, are submissive to men, are completely loyal, and they always wear those cute schoolgirl clothes." I'd hate to be the one to tell this guy that there's a huge difference between real-life Japanese females and anime schoolgirls. Have you been to Japan? Have you studied Japanese cultures extensively as I have? I've studied Japanese culture and history for several years. I'm in a higher position of authority to tell you I know how Japanese females are. They are futuristic compared to American and are far more advanced than them. This next one's titled, "Headless Instagram Model." Guys like you confuse me, but there are women around you that genuinely make me resent women. You treat women like crap and they flock to you, while most men that show women respect in this day and age just gets walked on or yelled at by the same women who enjoy being treated like crap. Or the women I hang out with have a sense of humor about life and flock to guys like me instead of dudes who take everything they see seriously and then resent women for not wanting to screw them. This is a you problem, not a them problem. Get some help before you hear about a headless Instagram model in your trunk, cause she didn't think you were the nice guy you think you are. Damn, this is somehow r/JustNeckbeardThings, r/nice guys, and r/murdered by words. For all the German viewers out there who live in Berlin or maybe visiting, you want to be careful because there's a Neckbeard Ninja wearing swords on your subway. This next one's titled, "Rest in peace to your grandma, but I'm different." Hey, this may be an odd request, but I've kind of been in a bit of a bad place recently. Aw man, that sucks. Everything okay? Grandma died, she was my best friend, work sucks. I do everything and I still only focus on what I don't do. Girl I was talking to really liked got a boyfriend right as I was gonna ask her out. Just been depressed. But I'm asking you this only because you're one of my favorite people on this earth and I feel so comfortable talking to you and you've been here for me during my darkest times. But could I possibly see you naked? Lol, I'm sorry I'm asking, but you're legit the only person I'd ever asked this because I know you're amazing and won't flip crap on me because you've been here for so much. This was so close to not being neckbeardy until he asked that question. For this next one, non-neckbeardy Yu-Gi-Oh players will finally get to rejoice because Yu-Gi-Oh players will now be punished if they smell bad under new hygiene rules. Take a frickin' shower or you'll be sent to the Shadow Realm. Apparently Christine with no H here is gonna be deleting all of her accounts now, because she got this email from a neckbeard. Christina, I just wanted to drop you a fast note and let you know I was mesmerized by your video about how long toenail polish lasts. I think your feet are incredibly sexy and I like all kinds, whether they have high arches or almost none like yours. I have made screen caps of your bare feet and the intense pleasure I have experienced scrolling through those pics and pounding myself non-stop until I groan your name and release my wad has been immeasurable. Your toes are gorgeous, but your soles are absolutely heavenly. I could get lost in them. Please keep making vids of your sexy souls and toes and bring your audience's pleasure to new heights. These neckbeards are creeping everybody out with their lack of boundaries. Like, what goes through their heads when they're sending these messages? This next one is on Facebook. Sega are frickin' liars. I thought that ever since they invented the character of Amy Rose, Sonic doesn't need a girlfriend. He's an incel like the rest of us. He doesn't need or want women. Tails is his friend, his special fox friend. In my dreams, they are special friends together and share a bed, and that's what makes their friendship special. Screw Amy Rose and screw Sega. Now, why the hell would you think that Sonic would be an incel? Sega would get absolutely bombarded by negative press if that were the case. This next one's titled, We Live in a Smelly Society. Can't wait to go see the new Joker movie and have an obese guy with a fedora and a neckbeard rejoice with excitement as the Joker beats some women. Really just adds to the viewing experience. Guys, did you know that in 1946 a South African child who dreamed of being a scientist wrote to Albert Einstein and they became pen pals? A few letters later, she said she regretted being a girl, apologized for not telling him, and hoped he wouldn't think less of her. He replied right away saying, Hi, few things to start off with. Yes, I added you because you're a female gamer. 'Tis an awesome thing to see. 2, I'm Brian. 3, don't be intimidated, but I'm not like a stereotypical guy. If anything, I'll be the one in the kitchen. And that's what would happen if Einstein was a neckbeard. This next one's titled, I'm a natural alpha male, so I'm anything but feminine. Kinda gay if you ask me, but I'm a natural alpha male, so I'm anything but feminine. A what? Alpha male? Lol. This next one is a news story of a cowardly attack. Teenage girl 18 knocked out in the street after telling man who followed her from the club, I'm not interested. I bet she fails to mention he probably brought her a drink earlier in the evening. And of course, this gets 10 downvotes for trying to justify this disgusting action. Tyrone The Neckbeard over here made a couple of posts. The first one says, stand up and look at the ground. What do you see? You see your own feet. Yet in Overwatch, you look down and you don't even see your own feet? It makes no sense at all. I put all his work into getting a Mercy and Widow skins and I can't even look down. And another post says, add an emote for every character that allows them to permanently remove their shoes. All males would have socks and females would not. I think it makes a lot of sense. Sometimes you just want to take off your shoes and relax, am I right? For some reason, neckbeards are really obsessed with feet today. This next one's titled, I think one of my followers on an anonymous site addressed this to me on accident. I'm the 15-year-old girl he's speaking to, by the way. I once saw a teenage girl that was so pretty and no one understand how I feel. If I told any of my friends or family what I felt towards a minor, they would call me a pervert, but their attraction wasn't intended, it just happened. She's pretty. Like the black-haired version of Ariel, really long hair, very bright eyes, and vibrant. I'm not ashamed to admit if she wasn't 15 and in fact older, I'd pursue her 100%. God, I hate society, all these beautiful young girls around and every man is supposed to sit idle until there's some arbitrary age where we can be with them. What's so different between a 15 and 18-year-old? It's only a 3-year difference. I wouldn't destroy her mental development because I wouldn't abuse her. But no, we have to stick to these washed up, less attractive, not as young women, because even if I look at a 19-year-old, I'm considered a weirdo. I don't like women my age at all. I like younger women, they're so much better. Physically and just overall, anyone who's attracted to 30-plus-year-old women are liars. Women hit the wall at that age, and the few that are attractive either have a ton of plastic surgery, still not as attractive as young girls, or taken. It's taken me everything not to pursue that girl, but I have to admit, it won't take me long to give in. It's inevitable at this point. Oh lord. Someone get the authorities, because this is creepy as hell. He is this close to acting on his urges, and it is not gonna be pretty. Guys, you know what time it is Neckbeard story time. This story is titled, Neckbeard in my driver's education class obsessed over me only for me to find out about his criminal record. Yikes. Okay, so here's the obligatory first post and I'm on mobile warning. I am what would be considered the perfect target for a neckbeard. I'm not unattractive, I'm nerdy, and I have a need to be nice to people. So it all started when I had to take driver's ed. I had shown up late and that left me with one choice as to where to sit. It was next to the neckbeard of the story, I'll call him Mark, and one of my friends, I'll call him Dave. For whatever reason, a driver's ed teacher really liked group activities. This will result with me being stuck with Mark for an entire 2 weeks of class. However, on the first day, I was not the only girl in our group. The only other girl was Mark's target for that day. His advances were so creepy, the girl had talked to her teacher and was put in a different group. Then on the second day, I made the unfortunate mistake of wearing an Assassin's Creed t-shirt to class. Mark's eyes lit up the second he saw me wearing something remotely geeky. This was when he decided that I was going to be his property for the rest of the time. Hey Toaster, your shirt is so cool, I didn't know that girls like you were into video games. Yeah? At this point, I'm really trying hard not to talk to him, but since I wasn't going to be able to avoid him, I knew that he was not going to go away anytime soon. Mark, yeah, that shirt looks really good on you. Me, just silent. I got lucky. The teacher walked in and began teaching us about driving, like he was supposed to. During this time, Mark kept staring at me. It even seemed like his beard, which was in fact on his neck, was looking at me. I tried to ignore him, but his constant staring was distracting. Then we were given a quick break before we get settled into our groups. I make my way towards the vending machine that was in the cafeteria of my school. It wasn't far from the classroom, so it was a good way to spend the break. I just bought my food when... Mark, let me pay for it, Toaster. I turn around, my package of Skittles in hand, and stared at him. I should mention that he was very close and was definitely invading my personal space. He also reeked of body odor. This will be a common occurrence throughout the story. Me, no thanks. Mark, no, I insist. I could not let such a lovely lady pay for her food when I can do it for her. I nearly gagged. It should be clear that I was at least 15 at the time, but Mark was 18. Why hadn't he taken the class earlier is beyond me. I heard Dave calling me over, so I quickly made my way towards him, leaving Mark behind. Dave helped me calm down as I get very anxious when people get too close to me. Once I got back and sat with my friend's group, Mark growls at the two dudes, Dude 1 and Dude 2, to get out of his seat. Great, now I was sitting next to him. We had our group activity. We were supposed to determine what you should do while driving based on emotions. We get to anger. Dude 1, I think that you should wait until you calm down to drive. Dude 2, yeah, that makes sense. Mark, who cares? You should drive either way. It's not gonna make a difference, right, Toaster? Me, actually, that's how road rage happens. I agree with Dude 1. Mark actually growls at me and his entire lanky body looks like it's about to burst. The rest of us try to just move in, but he doesn't want to. This becomes the cycle for the rest of the first week. I tried to get out of the group, but I was informed that no one wanted to switch and that Mark probably would try to change groups as well. The second week started with our attendance being a joke. We were supposed to go in line from funniest to ugly. We had to sign in for simplicity's sake. I go to the ugly end, and Mark noticed. Mark, if you don't think you're funny, Toaster, you should go near the middle of the line. Me, but I'm a potato. Sarcasm. Sarcasm is important. Mark, but you're drop-dead gorgeous. Once again, I nearly vomit. Seriously. Dave calls me over once again, so I make a mad dash for him. Dave is literally my savior. Unfortunately, Mark follows me. He gets angry that I left and tells me that I shouldn't be hanging out with people outside of work groups. This is where things started to change. Mark started getting more aggressive with his flirting attempts. I began hiding in the bathroom during break time, and Dude 1 and Dude 2 try to help keep Mark away from me whenever possible. I do feel weird about Dude 1 and Dude 2 because outside of the situation, these two are the same people who would bully my friends. 2 days before we were done, we had some sort of art project where two of us would look at other work while the other two stay behind and explain our posters. Yes, they all had to be driving themed. Mark, come on, Toaster, let's go look at the posters. Dude 1, actually, I need Toaster to help me explain the posters, sorry. Me, yeah, we already agreed to this. Dude 2 gets Mark to go without saying anything. This day was the most normal one. Dude 1 and I went through and did our job before Dude 2 and Mark took over so we can go and look at the posters. The day before the last day, Dave was acting strange. He made sure that I was not left alone with Mark for the entire day. This was exam day, so I didn't need to interact with Mark. Is everything okay, Dave? And then Dave says, Toaster, Mark is a predator. Really? Dave begins to tell me why Mark suddenly went to a specific driver's ed class. His previous school would not let him go to their school's class because he had been caught with very certain types of pictures and videos that were very illegal. The only reason that he was allowed to go here was because of the fact that he had gone to therapy about it. Once again, I nearly threw up. This guy was not only a creep, he'd gotten in trouble for it before. The final day was mostly exam retakes and the retrieval of our blue cards. Both Dave and I had passed on the first try, so we walked around the building and chatted. Mark finished his retake early, so he decided to try and look for me. When he saw that I was talking with Dave, something must have snapped. He runs as fast as he could towards Dave and starts chasing him. I go in the other direction and hid until I saw Mark return to the classroom. When I went to go look for Dave, I found him hiding in the unlocked janitor's closet. I spent the rest of the day avoiding Mark like the plague, and I even hid in a bush while I waited for my mom to pick me up. Luckily for me, Dave had complained and Mark was not allowed to enroll in the school afterwards. I've only seen Mark once since then. And then there is an edit which makes this even worse. I had recently found out from my older brother who used to go to school with Mark way back when that the CP was what got him in trouble, but the real reason he was considered a predator was because he had assaulted his sister and cousin. Wow. This guy needs to be locked up for a real long time because this dude is a danger to society. Anyway, enough with the madness, let's just end it right here. Thank you so much to our patrons, and you can join in the link below, and thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like. If you have something interesting to say, don't forget to comment. And if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe and hit the little notification bell. See you guys next time.